I spent 15,000 on storytelling courses in the past few years. But in these courses, I learned 3 major lessons that made the entire investment worth it. If you apply these lessons, you will take your story from, let's say, this average story to this wow story. Let's go. Lesson number 1. Quickly think of a childhood memory. Now, any memory that pops to your mind. Your brain is probably going like, boom, landing on something, right? Got it? Okay. Now, how old were you in that memory? What did you feel in that memory? And also, why do you think you remember that memory? I'll tell you why. It's probably because of the emotions involved with that. These can be pleasant emotions like happiness or excitement, or unpleasant emotions like fear or sadness. Compare that with, let's say, something that happened a week ago in class, in a meeting, in an interaction with a friend. We probably forgot 99% of that. Now, if you want to be remembered with your story, you got to bring in emotions. So, big idea number 1, bring in emotions into your story. One very powerful technique to make any story more emotional is to share the thoughts of the character in that crucial moment of the story. We all have tons of thoughts throughout the day, right? Share some of these thoughts. What does the character hope, dream, fear, plan, whatever they want to have in their lives? Now let me give you 2 examples, okay? First example, instead of saying, "Oh, I was very excited to give that presentation," say, "I thought, oh man, I'll crush this. This will be the best presentation of my life. My boss will probably look at me and give me the promotion after that." Second example, instead of saying, "Oh, I was beating myself up over the 10 pounds that I have gained," say, "I thought, what is going on with you, Philip, right? You can't even stay 1 day without sugar. Like, what's wrong with you? Why are you so inconsistent?" Do you see the difference there? On one, it was very neutral, it was not very exciting. The other was sharing the thoughts, immediately increasing the stakes of that story. Now, just keep in mind that your thoughts, they're not very intellectual, right? Give your listeners these raw, unfiltered thoughts that will make it immediately more interesting. All right, if you combine this lesson with the next lesson, your stories will be better than 99% of the stories out there. Lesson 2. Let me give you 2 examples that show the lesson, okay? First example, well, on that day, very surprisingly, I lost my job. You'd be like, whatever, right? Why would I care? Let me now give you a second example. On that day, I walked into my manager's office, and it's this cold office, like no decoration on the wall, no natural sunlight. And at that moment, my manager asked me to sit down. I'm like, this is weird, right? He had never asked me to sit down before in his life. And then my manager said, "Look, Philip, I like working with you. I think you're a great guy, but our investors ask us to be leaner." Wait, what do you mean leaner? What are you talking about? "Well, Philip, we gotta let you go." Do you see the difference? The result is the same. But in the second example, I take you into the physical moment of the story. So lesson number 2, bring your listeners into the scene. That scene can be any physical location. For example, it could be, the first scene could be you in your manager's office. The second scene could be you in the bathroom, I don't know, maybe crying. The third scene could be you standing in front of the office in the rain. Whatever it is, take your listeners into the scene of that story. So describe all the details involved with this. The colors, the smells, the sight, the dialogue. All the details that bring your story to life. Scenes and emotions are very powerful if you already have a story. But a lot of people struggle with having the right story that they could tell. So let's fix that. Lesson 3. Now, the one thing that prevents people from telling the stories the most is that they don't think that they have any interesting stories to tell. They're like, "Oh, my life is just normal, right? I guess I don't have that many cool, interesting experiences that I could use." Well, what I learned in all these courses is the problem is not that you don't have any interesting experiences. The problem is that you don't know how to spot them. Lesson number 3, you already have incredible stories. You just need to dig them up. Now, how can you do that? You can do that by doing a powerful exercise called first, last, best, worst. by Matthew Diggs. Now, how does it work? You take out a sheet of paper or you open a spreadsheet and you put in 5 columns. First, prompts, then first, last, best, worst. Now, the prompts can be anything that triggers a memory. Let me give you an example. Let's say my prompt is gifts. So I ask myself, what was my first gift? Yes, that was that handsaw that I got when I was 3 years old. Don't know why my parents got this. Then I ask myself, what was my last gift? Yeah, that was that weighted blanket I got for my birthday. What was my best gift? Definitely the TEDx coach that I got for my sister for my birthday. And let's see, what was my worst gift? Definitely the pepper mill that I got from my friends from the MBA. Worst gift, screw you guys for that. Now, at that point, I only note down 1 or 2 words to remember that memory. I don't go into the story yet. After that, I go into the other prompts that I want to cover. Now, what are other prompts? That could be kiss, injury, hobby, job, car, book, trouble, whatever it is. Go through more prompts to help you uncover some of these memories. Once you have done that, maybe for like 10 minutes of just trying to uncover these memories, you can then look at your entire table or your entire sheet and see, out of all of these memories, are there any memories that stand out? Any memories that are a little bit more emotional, more surprising, or more entertaining? Well, that's your story. All right, these were the 3 lessons I've learned from all these storytelling courses. But just in case you want to go a little bit deeper into storytelling, you may want to check out this next video. In this video, I'm going to share the 3 lessons I've learned from reading 34 books on storytelling. See you there.